So President Congress Claire Sullivan, moving motion 11 on behalf of the Chartered Society of Physiotherapy. Fantastic speakers in the composite we've just voted on. And I was tempted to think, really, we've had the best, there isn't much more to add. And then I thought, but I'm here now. And whoever said quality was better than quantity? So, Congress, we meet in 2025 at a time of real challenge. Economic pressures, global uncertainty, and profound inequalities all weigh heavily across the globe and here in the United Kingdom. In such moments, there will always be those who turn to division. Across the UK, extremism and extremists have grown louder online, in politics and in our workplaces. Their message is simple and destructive. Blame those who are different, distrust our neighbours, retreat into anger. But we know division doesn't build stronger societies, it weakens them. It distracts us from the real task, which is tackling inequity, improving lives, and creating a fairer and more just society. Conference, we can already see the despicable and corrosive impact of extremists. In our communities, they fuel hostility towards minorities, migrants, our very democracy. On our streets, they exploit fear with their slogans, their flags that are chilling, intimidating, and which offer no solutions. Online, they spread misinformation and conspiracy theories at lightning speed, creating confusion, distrust, rioting. And in our workplaces, right-wing extremist ideas creep in quietly, undermining trust between colleagues, promoting hate where there should be solidarity. This is not only a threat to social cohesion, but a direct risk to economic growth, to workplace well-being, and to the fabric of our democracy. Comrades, we must tell a different story. The far right tells us that diversity is a weakness, but we know the truth. Diversity is Britain's greatest strength. From the NHS to our schools, from our creative industries to our care services, it is people of every gender, race, colour, faith and identity who have built this country and who will carry it forward. Friends, as I stand here now, looking out as a sea of trade union activists, we must know that we are not powerless. Extremism and extremists thrive when people feel they are alone and without voice. But trade unionism is built on exactly the opposite, on giving voice, on standing together, on collective strength. And we must continue to strengthen protections at work, ensuring no one faces discrimination or harassment. Every worker deserves dignity, deserves respect. And we know that those with the least privilege and the greatest oppression need the strongest protection, the greatest solidarity. And it was my great privilege this year to chair the TUC Women's Conference. It was, as it always is, deeply humbling. From the platform, I heard both new ideas and familiar arguments. I learned things I didn't previously know. I heard remarkable achievements to be celebrated and was twice reduced to tears by the terrible and tragic experiences of women at work. Life, both at work and outside of it, can still be brutally hard for many women. But we know that it is hardest for poor women, for disabled women, and most of all, for black women. So we should be proud of everything our movement has achieved, but there is much still to do. As I look back over 40 years as a woman at work, I know that sometimes it feels that we take one step forward and two steps back in the fight for equity and belonging. In difficult times, we have unified to challenge hate, and we will once again answer that call. We will raise up every disadvantaged, marginalised and voiceless worker and let them know they are not alone, but are one of more than 5.5 million trade union members. Extremism and the far right offer only division. We can offer something better, a society that is inclusive and safe for all, where every person can thrive. With the history and experience, the leadership and commitment gathered in the hall today, it's a task we must fulfil. Congress, I urge you, stand against hate. Let us stand together to build a future founded on unity, courage and hope. Comrades, I move.